Well, one of the key components to having a successful retirement is creating a budget and living within your means. But how do you do that when you aren't sure what your expenses will be? Greg and Kristen Taylor from Legacy Retirement Group are back with us as they are in daytime each and every Monday. So good to see you both.
Good to be here.
So let's talk first about the importance of having a retirement budget. Sometimes us ladies, Kristen, I don't think we like that word budget, but this is very important. So you need to know where to start in creating that.
You know, I have a shoe line item on my budget. No, but in all seriousness, the first step really is understanding your why. And I say that because Greg mentioned a little bit ago during the question segment, you're getting ready to retire. You're really going to be spending more than you're going to be saving, right? You still can cut costs here and there where you can, but you want to keep those promises you made to yourself and be able to do the things that you have time to do now, right? So you're going to take that step as looking at your why, and then you're going to say, okay, what am I spending now? What are my realistic expenses? Because I can tell you, when we sit down and look at people's expenses, a lot of times they don't put those things like the light bill, the electric, the water, you know, those basic expenses that we have. You don't think about putting those on there. You're thinking about more of the big things.
Right.
And then we have, adversely, some people that don't think about the things that could come up, like a vacation that they want to budget for, or maybe they know they're going to need a roof replacement or a major appliance replacement. So putting all those things on there and being truthful. Don't lie to yourself, because it's not going to make it go away if it's not on the budget. You need to have it on there.
That's a great point. And, you know, sometimes people will come in with their list of expenses and it'll be $25,000 a year and they're making $80,000 a year. And I'll say, well, how much are you putting in? I notice there's not a lot in savings right now. Are you putting a lot back in savings? And they're like, well, no, kind of what comes in goes out. And I said, well, you said you only spend $25,000 a year. No, that's our budget. But we're spending a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's eye-opening, and sometimes it's a little frustrating for people when they really look at it. But being honest and open about what you're spending is the best step to take when you're looking.
You're the only one going to suffer if you lie about it, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing is, you know, we can account for things like electric bills and things like that, but what do you do when it comes to healthcare costs, inflation, numbers that you don't really know 100%?
Big. That's big.
Well, understand this. At a 2.5% inflation rate, in 10 years, your costs are going to go up by 25%. That's just simple math. So if your budget is $4,000 a month, in 10 years it's going to be $5,000 a month and you haven't spent any more.
And I want to add in there that we've been in relatively low inflation rate period the last 8 years or so.
Yes.
So don't be bamboozled by that. Inflation will start happening again, and it'll probably be at that rate that's more the average.
That's true. So there's inflation, and then there's a lot of reports and studies that have told us that the average retiree is going to spend close to $200,000 on their health care, not long-term care, not home health care, but just traditional health care and medical expenses during their retirement years. So that's big cost that a lot of people don't account for as well.
So how far in advance do you want your clients to come in and sit down and make this budget? Because you probably can't do it as well, you know, 6 months before you're going to retire. You need a little time.
Yeah, probably about 5 years is a good time frame. If you do it too soon, then so many changes happen in the 10-year mark. You maybe want to start thinking about it 10 years out, but really to start nailing things down 5 years out is a good time period to meet with someone and bounce ideas off of a professional in the area and really open your eyes to those things you may be missing.
That's true, because a lot of times people have heard, you know, it's about 75% of your budget that you need, you know, or what you're making while you're working that you need in retirement. We're finding people need every bit as much, or maybe a little more, because now you have time. You can do what you want to do. Do what you always dreamed of doing, and do what you always promised yourself you'd be able to do.
Right, you want to enjoy it. I mean, that's a big thing, and that's what you're helping folks do. And you also have an offer, as you do every week. This week, it is the Retirement Readiness Review, which goes along exactly with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It does, and for the first 10 callers that call in, we're also going to send them a copy of our special report, The 5 Steps to Retirement, which it's kind of just a checklist that people can really go over and actually make notes on and get ready to create that budget and do the things that will help them retire well.
Okay, that is the goal every time. Now, this is valued at $500 too, so this is a great deal to get ahead of it and try and figure out your retirement. I want to let you guys know the number to call. It's on the screen. It's 614-336-7660. And I want to remind everybody too that they can now email you if they have questions,
Yes.
which is ohiosretirementcoach.com, questions@ohiosretirementcoach.com. So hopefully you guys get a lot of good ones in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks for being here.
Good to be here as always.